What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. And today's WWE news video is going to be rather, I guess, strange would be the proper term. There's only a couple things that I'm going to be talking about in this video. There might be one more after I refresh the page, but in this video I'm going to be talking about WWE announcing 3 brand new NXT signings, all who have entered into the Dusty Classic. Excuse me, who actually showed up last night on NXT, and also this one that I'm going to be talking about now. WWE hoping to start touring live shows in April, and also WrestleMania 37 potentially to have at least 25,000 fans. So let's actually talk about that for a second, because if you guys don't know, last year's WrestleMania, it was a 2-night event, and truth be told, they had 14 days notice, and they spent 14 months getting it all ready for Raymond James Stadium. Now they only have they now have 3 months of fucking notice. You know, they've got 3 months notice, and it's finally gonna happen at Raymond James Stadium. So shout outs to Andrew Pollard from What Culture for this article. With WWE now having officially announced that fans will be in attendance for WrestleMania 37, now comes an update on just how many fans we can expect to be allowed to attend this year's edition of WrestleMania. As per the usually reliable WrestleVote, the belief is that WWE is currently making plans to accommodate 25,000 fans on each of WrestleMania's 2 nights. Additionally, within WWE are said to view this as a potential soft reopening for WWE in regards to once more returning to the traditional touring schedule for live programming. So they sent out a tweet saying that WrestleVotes sent out a tweet saying WWE is planning on permitting upwards of 25,000 fans for WrestleMania on both nights. The real internal discussions are what to do after. Some would like a soft reopening of the touring schedule for live TV, as continuing the Thunderdome post-Mania comes with location headaches. In some separate news from PW Insider, the tentative plan is for each night of WrestleMania 37 to be a 3-hour show, which would air live on the WWE Network from 7 p.m. Eastern. It's also expected that each 3-hour block will be preceded by a kickoff show. For the rest of WWE's regular WrestleMania weekend practices, nothing else has been decided on at this stage. There have been discussions of putting together a virtual Hall of Fame ceremony to coincide with WrestleMania 37, although that has yet to be locked in just yet. Emanating from Tampa's Raymond James Stadium, WrestleMania 37 will take place on April 10th and 11th. So what's interesting about this is that this was last year's WrestleMania. We're literally getting a repeat of last year's WrestleMania, where we had 2 nights, and I believe both of them were 4-hour shows. I think they were like close to 4 hours, not counting the kickoff show, not counting the kickoff show. And there was how many matches were on the card? There was a total of 18 matches on the card. It is possible that we could have what you call it? We could have I would probably say a total of like maybe 10, maybe 12 matches on the card at best. You know, with with half being championship matches, the other half being hang on, guys. Sorry, I was just texting a friend. Anyway, half being championship matches, the other half being other matches as well. It is a possibility, but we're not so sure. But as far as having 25,000 fans, I think it's great. It gives them the ability to separate the fans from each other in pertainance to the pandemic, which is an incredible idea, awesome idea. It gives WWE, I guess, closure, so to speak. Because that would be a perfect start for WWE to continue the live touring, to tour the live shows, in places like Chicago, St. Louis, Washington D.C., even Tampa, Miami, Orlando, here in LA, San Antonio, Dallas, Toronto, Montreal, and all across North America, and potentially, if they are allowed to, do tours in the UK, which I believe, if I remember right, I did a video on that a while back, several months ago, saying that they were going to start touring in the UK in 2021, which is actually this year. If that is a possibility, odds are what WWE could potentially do is bring in superstars from NXT UK, like Walter, like Ilya Dragunov, like A-Kid, women like Ginny, Kaylee Ray, Piper Niven, Zaya Brookside, who actually, truth be told, I just saw NXT UK on the WWE Network just moments ago before I even started recording, and we just saw Kaylee Ray retain her NXT UK Women's Championship against Ginny, even though Joseph Connors tried to interfere, which, that's karma for you. So it is a very high possibility, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. But as far as touring, touring, Chicago and whatnot, the best option for them is to go from full capacity to only, I would say maybe 30% capacity. At least that way, 30%, maybe 40% capacity. That way they won't. That way it'll be in accordance with the pandemic and whatnot, what's been going on nowadays. It could be a possibility, but only time will tell. We will find out in the upcoming months. But with that being said, WWE had announced 3 new signings, all who have entered in the Women's Dusty Cup. Funny enough, one of them was a part of, I believe, the first ever Mae Young Classic in 2017. And if I remember correctly, Kairi Sane was the one who won that one, and I think Toni Storm won the 2018 one. So, shoutouts to Gareth Morgan for this article. WWE have taken to Twitter to announce the signings of 3 new NXT recruits, according to the brand's account on the social media platform. The 3 women now calling WWE's developmental brand home are Zoe Stark, formerly known as Lacey Ryan, Gigi Dolan, formerly known as Priscilla Kelly, and Cora Jade, formerly known as Elena Black. Stark has spent a decade around the time of the independent scene and battled the likes of Tessa Blanchard and Impact's Jordan Grace in the past. Dolan has wrestled in MLW, Evolve, AEW, I guess? I don't know. And even during the it was the 2018 Mae Young Classic. And Jade has appeared in Warrior Wrestling and on AEW Dark. If you guys know anything about that, comment below. I know nothing of it. I don't watch it. I honestly don't. I know that Sting joined AEW if I remember correctly, and and Brody Lee, or Luke Harper for that matter, he was the, what was it, that TNT champion or something like that, and they made his son Brody Jr. The champion for life because I guess they retired it. I don't know. I just read what's on social media, so I don't know if it's true or not. But I've heard rumors that the title got resurrected. So if you guys know anything about AEW, let me know in the comments below. I know nothing of it. But continuing on, all three of these fresh faces have also been immediately thrown into the impending Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, with Dahlin and Jay forming a unit, and Stark joining Marina Shafir to make up another. The first round of the women's tournament... Can I not... What is... There we go. The first round of the women's tournament will get underway... Oh, okay, so this had already happened. So last night on NXT we had Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm actually lose to Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter, which was insane. Because the odds-on favorites were actually Martinez and Storm, who have combined 30 years of experience combined. 40 years experience combined, which was insane. But Martinez and Storm lost to the underdogs, which is very interesting. Will WWE's latest signings be able to hit the ground running in this inaugural tournament? Only one way to find out, honestly. So Priscilla Kelly, I've heard. There were a lot of stories about with what happened with her. So if you guys don't know, I think she did a independent show, and if you guys don't know. Well, let's just say that her hormones, if you will, kind of got in the way. I'm just going to leave it at that. But I did watch Priscilla Kelly Gigi Dolan in the 2018 Mania Classic Tournament. She did incredible, but she was only in the WWE for the tournament and maybe for a couple weeks, maybe a month in NXT, if I remember correctly. She left and started doing her own thing, on the independent scene, and it's interesting because when you think about signings to NXT, it's a weird one, but that's what makes NXT interesting. That's what makes NXT awesome. It's the fact that you never know who could get signed to WWE. Literally anything can happen. Obviously we just saw, not last night, but last week on NXT we saw MSK, debut. I think they were known as the Rascals on TNA. I don't know. I haven't seen TNA in years, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, it's very interesting. And of course too, having tag teams being formed. Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. Who else? And also potentially Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa. If you guys saw the Fight Pit last night, backstage after the show went off the air, Tommaso Ciampa said, asked Thatcher why he did not break Ciampa's leg. He answered with one word: respect. And told Thatcher, there's an opening in the Dusty Cup. I swear, here's the thing. If you guys don't know, the last time Thatcher was in a tag team, it was with Matt Riddle when Pete Dunne had to stay in NXT UK. He had to stay in the UK because of the pandemic, and Pete Dunne chose Thatcher as his partner. And Thatcher, because of the incidental contact, Thatcher bailed on Riddle. This is going to be interesting. If you guys want to see that tag team, comment below, because honestly I am very curious about that. Again, it's NXT, it's the WWE. Anything can happen in WWE. Alright, you guys. Now for this last thing that I just found out. It was actually just posted today. Shoutouts to Gareth Morgan. Roman Reigns retiring his Shield entrance music. During a recent conversation with Bleacher Report, Universal Champion Roman Reigns revealed that WWE are currently working on getting him some new entrance music. Ever since the Shield split back in 2014, Reigns has found himself strutting out to the ring to the same thunderous music which accompanied the trio throughout their initial and subsequent runs, along with the variation of their trademark gear. However, after years of fans crying out for a change-up in both areas of Reigns' presentation, the Tribal Chief dropped the vest and later introduced a golden gauntlet alongside a serious attitude adjustment. No pun intended for John Cena, because Cena's move is called the Attitude Adjustment. Upon returning to action in August of last year, now Reigns has revealed to Bleacher Report that he is in the process of altering his entrance theme, yet he also noted that this isn't a simple task, as, quote, it's gotta be the right vibe. In Reigns' words, he said, quote, yeah, we're working on it. I'll just say that we're working on it. It's not easy. I'm not gonna just... I think it's this character. I think with this character, it's gotta be the right vibe. I can't... You can't just hire a rapper or check out this guitar riff. It can't just be some rock music. Reigns also asked fans to be patient while himself and WWE searched for the perfect musical fit for his latest evolution on the indomitable character. Up until this point, pretty much everything Reigns and company have introduced in regards to the Tribal Chief variation of his persona has gone down a treat with the wrestling community. So here's hoping the company hit yet another home run with the character when it comes to the major audio alteration. So what's funny about this is that, so Reigns has had the Shield music since the split in 2014, and the funny thing is that Roman Reigns, he's one of those guys that, he's like how can I describe him? I think he's, in my opinion, as a fan of WWE, he's like the Undertaker of today's WWE. Roman Reigns doesn't need a championship to prove that he's the best. Look at what Undertaker did. He's a former multi-time tag team champion. He's like a 7-time, 8-time, 9-time world champion. He's the winner of the 2007 Royal Rumble, and is also the only man in history to hold the then WWE Hardcore Championship for more than a month. Truth be told, he held the title for more than a month, which was the longest ever. Nobody's ever done that before. Everyone else has held the title for like a day, maybe a week, and even also for like 2 seconds. And even for 35 minutes, at best, And funny enough, Undertaker didn't need any of those championship runs or that Royal Rumble win to prove to the world that he's the best. He didn't need them. But yet he decided to win those championships not for his career, but to help elevate, but to help give, new and up-and-coming talent, and future champions a chance to make a name for themselves, and that's what Roman Reigns is doing right here. He's trying to, I know that some people may say that, he's only doing this for his ego. In my opinion, he's not. The way I see it, he's using his reign as Universal Champion to help elevate SmackDown, bring it up to the level of where Monday Night Raw is, and give the talent on SmackDown opportunities at the title, such as Kevin Owens, such as Jey Uso, Big E, Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, potentially as well, Otis even as well. So honestly, so for him to get new music that is like, I guess it could be a remix of his current theme. It's absolutely incredible, awesome idea, and we'll have to see. As far as when we'll get it, I would presume we can expect to get it possibly before WrestleMania, because if you guys don't know, WrestleMania has now been pushed back to April, which I did mention. I spoke about that in mid-2020. In mid-2020 last year, I spoke about that, saying that it could potentially be pushed back because of the pandemic. Now it's become a reality, and that's honestly that's excellent news. Honestly, that's excellent news. It gives WWE a chance to start new rivalries and try to renew a couple and put together a show that's better than last year. So that actually brings me to the question of the day. Do you guys think that WrestleMania this year will be better than last year? Do you guys think it will be? If so, why? Let me know in the comments below, and that will do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys want to see more WWE news videos, which I will be posting every Thursday for the most part. But of course, you guys know I always do prediction videos, box openings, deck profiles, and whatnot. I actually do have a deck profile ready to go. I think it's what was it, Black Rose? It's either Black Rose or Galaxy Eyes. I don't remember. It's one or the other. But I do have several deck profiles ready to go. I do have a couple of decks that need to be updated. Cyber Dragon is one that I will be updating after the ban list. So once the next ban list comes out, which I think will be in March, I will be updating the Cyber Dragon deck depending on what got hit. Stay tuned for that. Again, but if you guys want to see more of these news videos for WWE and YuGiOh, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. The links will be down in the description. And if you guys have any fan mail that you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, because 2021 I will be doing fan mail, my address will be at the top of the description. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.